Hey guys, this is Locky from e-Spurs Australia, coming to you with your e-Spurs match reaction to the game against Burnley at Turf Moor. Solid little 2-0 win there. Weird game, right? I don't know. At halftime, I assume, like many of you, were just going, "What's this? What's going on here? Could anything else go wrong today?" Man, that was. I mean, if the win against Southampton was an ugly win, then this match was positively disgusting. Particularly in that first half. Burnley have that great record at home. It was always going to be a tough match, but we had one chance really. Dele Alli fluffed that sitter, and it just did not look like our day, did it? With Wanyama going off injured after a sort of few times where it looked like he was and he wasn't, and then he definitely was. I remember the commentator saying, like, "Oh, it was quite an innocuous challenge from Barnes," but to me, in those replays, it looked like that knee was thoroughly pointed out and straight into his back. From what I've seen, it doesn't look like it's going to be a particularly bad injury, but it was still a massive blow at the time. And then Harry Winks, at first I thought he had sort of stood in that lunchbox looking thing on the sideline and done his ankle or something, but I'm not sure if you guys noticed. I tweeted out a video from my telly of Poch and Jesus sort of sitting on the bench crossed-armed, and then looks like a medical guy sort of comes over and just does some sort of gesturing from the knee to the ankle and just goes, "Nah." And basically the four managing staff, Poch included, just go, "Well, shit." So it does not look good for Harry Winks, which was another massive blow at the time, and I really hope that it's not a serious injury. At this point in time, I know nothing more than he was stretched off, and from their reaction, it looks pretty serious. So going to the second half, there wasn't much hope, was there? Dembele coming on, obviously, no one's going to argue with that. The guy is, as was reported widely this week, a genius. But Sissoko coming on to replace Winks, that had a few people scratching their heads. And, I didn't see too much of a problem there. The guy did set up the winner last time we played them, but Poch moved around the system. We went back to a four at the back with Dembele and Dyer in the middle and Sissoko out on the right. And before, I get into how that positively influenced the game, isn't it amazing just how dynamic our squad is? We were without our two wing-backs in Rose and Walker, without our main striker in Harry Kane. Son was tired and Dembele was tired, so we started this game with basically half of our full strength squad, and then during the game we were forced into more changes, the center of our midfield out, and yet we still managed to be able to counter and squeeze a team that have this amazing home record, that have stifled Liverpool, Chelsea, a host of other teams, and yet we started that second half with no hope. Every Spurs fan was like, and yet we came out on top. That second half was comfy. It was a comfy victory in the end, wasn't it? We were not put under the cosh that much, especially by a team that has just dominated others. It was truly impressive, and one of those victories where, I don't know, those old Spurs bones didn't react well to it, because you just don't expect Spurs. You're not that confident. I think all of us are still getting used to this feeling of positivity, this feeling of expectancy to win, however the win may come, it just seems to happen more than not these days, and it was, I don't know, it was a great second half to watch. Really, we dominated. Dyer's goal, yeah, it was, it came to him. It wasn't lucky. I mean, he had to be there. It was well taken, but once we got that, the game felt settled, and I didn't really see a Burnley comeback or them getting back into the game. And then obviously Son's second goal just solidified it, and I was completely comfortable. Let's talk about, I guess, just players in general. I was surprised Trippier up against his old club. He didn't really do too much today. He didn't really impress me. His crosses that are usually great weren't that great. His touch wasn't amazing. So yeah, Trips didn't play that well. I thought Davies, on the other hand, was really good, really playing that good advanced role. Had a great chance to score. It was a good save. Dembele, this guy. I mean, brilliant, right? He was compared to, the greats like Ronaldinho and players like that. I think another quote was, if we'd had you since you were 18, you would have been one of the greatest players in the world right now. But he is simply one of the best players to watch in the Premier League. The way he controls the ball and keeps players off of him, his strength, his awareness, it is sublime. He was amazing today. And as good as Winks was in that first half, I think Winks was probably our best player before he went off injured. Dembele, he's just something else, right? I mean, having him on the pitch, it did prove the difference, I think, in the end. Another player to mention has to be Christian Eriksen. To any of the people out there that think that we should sell Christian Eriksen or that he just doesn't do enough, who apparently have not eyeballs to see his amazing stats and just general way he influences the game. I don't know about you guys. You guys are insane. But Christian Eriksen, again, I said in my preview that he was going to be incredibly important to us getting a result today, and he was. He was my man in the match today, for sure. The strength that he showed to win the ball, and then the vision to pick out Dele Alli, who eventually set up Son for that second goal. What else do you want from your attacking midfield players, especially in lieu of missing our talisman up front in Harry Kane? Christian Eriksen was immense today, and I love him, and you should love him as well. He is amazing. What else? Yeah, speaking of Dele Alli, terrible miss in the first half. Really solidified that, oh shit, what else could go wrong today kind of vibe. But what was good was his attitude. He just wants goals. He wants to be in there. There was a chance where Son sort of blasted into the net after a fairly heavy pass from Christian Eriksen, and Dele Alli's there in the 6-yard box going, why didn't I get the ball? And he seems to always be doing that. He wants to score. He wants to be there. He wants those goals. And he came very close a couple of times today, and he was unlucky not to score. He didn't shy away from the ball afterwards, which is the sign of a really great attitude from such a young and immensely talented player. So I thought he was great today as well, even though he didn't score and he missed a sitter. There's not much more it was a weird game. That first half was disgusting, but overall it was quite a comfy victory in what was going to be and was a very tough game. And I think all things considered, Janssen had the flu but played, and I actually thought he was quite good too. I obviously didn't score, but I thought he played his role quite well. Sissoko, it's hard to really praise that performance, but he wasn't that bad. That miss, though, when it came to him after Janssen broke through the defence, was pretty not great. But, let's not talk about Sissoko too much. All in all, it was a good performance. Like I said earlier, if winning against Southampton was an ugly win, this was this wasn't great to look at, but a win is a win, and an important win it was, as we saw Chelsea lose to Crystal Palace at Stamford Bridge, by the way, which I'm still like, why can't we do that? Anyway, looking forward to Swansea in midweek, and yeah, you can look forward to a preview of that game and a review of that game from me. Give me a follow on e-Spurs Australia if you're into that. Otherwise, also if you want to make one of these videos, just pop one together. Email it down to the address down here, and Andy will sort you out. But yeah, until next time, guys. Come on, you Spurs. Oh, and get well soon, Harry Winks. Ciao.